So, this is the Apple Vision Pro. It's easily the most ambitious, most futuristic, and frankly, most product we've seen in years. Launched in February 2024, it's Apple's big swing at what they call spatial computing. This isn't just another VR headset for gaming, or a simple AR overlay for your phone. It's a full-blown computer that you wear on your face, designed to seamlessly merge your digital world with your physical space. And it comes with an equally ambitious price tag to match. A cool $3,500. That price alone tells you this isn't for everyone, at least not yet. But it does signal a huge shift in how we might interact with technology. For that $3,499, you're getting what Apple hopes is the beginning of a new era. It's a device that aims to redefine everything from productivity and entertainment to how we capture and relive our memories. It's packed with an insane amount of new technology, from custom silicon to mind-bending displays and an entirely new operating system built from the ground up for this experience. It's a first-generation product in every sense of the word, but it's also a bold statement about where personal computing is headed. It feels a lot like the original iPhone or the first Mac, a glimpse into a future that feels both inevitable and still a little far away. So, in this video we're going to do a deep dive. We're not just going to talk about whether it's worth it, because for most people right now, the answer is probably no. Instead, we're going to break down the key pieces of technology that make the Vision Pro so revolutionary. We'll look at the custom chips that power it, the displays that are better than your TV, the controller-free interface that feels like magic, and the software that ties it all together. This is a look at what makes the Vision Pro tick, and what it tells us about the future of reality. Let's get into it. Alright, so let's start under the hood, because what powers this thing is just as important as what you see. Apple went with a dual-chip setup, which is pretty clever. You've got the M2 chip, which is the same powerful, efficient brain you'll find in a MacBook Air or an iPad Pro. This is the workhorse. It's running the VisionOS, handling all the apps, processing graphics, and basically doing all the heavy lifting you'd expect from a full-fledged computer. It ensures that everything from browsing Safari to editing a video feels smooth and responsive. But the M2 is only half the story, and it's the second chip that really makes the magic happen. That second chip is the brand new R1. Think of this as the sensory cortex of the Vision Pro. Its entire job is to process the fire hose of information coming from the headset's insane sensor array. We're talking about 12 cameras, 5 different types of sensors, and 6 microphones, all feeding it data constantly. The R1 processes all of this input in just 12 milliseconds. That's 8 times faster than the blink of an eye. This is what completely eliminates the lag or motion sickness you might have felt in other headsets. When you move your head, the world moves with you instantly. It's this real-time processing that makes the pass-through video feel so present and grounds the whole experience in reality. Now let's talk about the displays, because honestly they are mind-blowing. This is probably the single biggest leap forward the Vision Pro makes over every other headset on the market. Apple is using custom dual micro OLED displays, one for each eye. And the pixel density is just on another level. Combined, they pack in 23 million pixels. To put that in perspective, a 4K TV has about 8 million pixels. So, you're getting more than a 4K TV's worth of resolution for. The result is an image that is incredibly sharp, with no screen door effect whatsoever. Text is perfectly crisp and readable, and videos and photos look stunning. This level of clarity is what makes everything else possible. It's why you can comfortably read your emails or browse the web for an extended period. It's why watching a movie feels like you're in your own personal IMAX theater, with vibrant colors and true blacks, thanks to the OLED technology. Whether you're in a fully immersive VR environment or looking at apps floating in your living room, the visual fidelity is just unmatched. It's so good that it tricks your brain into believing what it's seeing is real, which is the entire point. This is the part of the experience that feels the most like the future has truly arrived. One of the most talked about features of the Vision Pro is how you control it. There are no plastic controllers to hold, no wands to wave around. It's all done with your eyes, your hands, and your voice. And when you first try it, it feels like straight-up magic. The primary navigation method is eye tracking. You simply look at an element, an app icon, a button, a link, and it highlights. To click, you just tap your thumb and index finger together. That's it. It doesn't matter where your hands are, they can be resting comfortably in your lap. The cameras inside are watching your eyes, and the cameras outside are watching your hands. The precision and speed of the eye tracking are what make this system so impressive. It's almost instantaneous and surprisingly intuitive. You don't have to consciously think, I'm going to look at that icon now, you just look, and it works. For things like scrolling, you just pinch your fingers together and move your hand up and down. For typing, there's a virtual keyboard you can tap on, or you can just use your voice with dictation, which works as well as you'd expect from Apple. It all combines to create an interface that feels incredibly natural and low effort. It gets out of your way and lets you focus on what you're doing, which is the hallmark of great UI design. So, what do you actually with all this tech? Well, one of Apple's biggest pitches is for productivity. The idea is to break you free from the constraints of your physical monitor. With Vision Pro, you can open multiple apps and arrange them side by side in the space around you. You can have Safari on your left, your messages in the middle, and a Slack window on your right, all floating in your living room. You can grab the corner of any window and resize it to be as massive as you want. It's like having an infinite customizable monitor setup that you can take anywhere. And for Mac users, there's a killer feature called Mac Virtual Display. With a single click, you can bring your Mac screen into the Vision Pro wirelessly. It just appears as a giant, beautiful floating 4K display right in front of you. You can continue using your physical keyboard and trackpad to control it, but now your workspace isn't limited to a 13 or 16-inch screen. You can place it wherever you want, make it as big as you want, and surround it with your native VisionOS apps. For anyone who has ever wished for more screen real estate, this is a game changer. It fundamentally rethinks what a professional workspace can be. The Vision Pro isn't just about looking at digital content, it's also about creating it in a whole new way. For the first time, Apple has built a three-dimensional camera directly into one of their products. Using a button on the top of the headset, you can capture what Apple calls spatial photos and videos. These aren't your typical flat images or videos. When you view them back inside the Vision Pro, they have depth and dimension. It feels less like you're watching a recording and more like you're peering back into a memory. You can see the space between objects and people, giving the moment a sense of presence that a normal photo just can't replicate. Imagine capturing a child's birthday party, the candles being blown out, the presents being opened. With a spatial video, you can relive that moment with a sense of immersion that's genuinely powerful. The video wraps around your field of view, and the spatial audio makes it sound like you are right back in the room. It's an incredibly personal and almost emotional feature. Right now, it's a bit of a chicken and egg problem since you can only truly experience these captures on a Vision Pro. But it's a fascinating look at how we might document our lives in the future, moving beyond flat screens to capture moments with the depth they actually had. One of the biggest social hurdles for any VR or AR headset is that it isolates you from the people around you. You put on this big thing, and you're suddenly cut off from the world. Apple's solution to this is a unique and slightly strange feature they call EyeSight. On the front of the Vision Pro is a curved OLED display. When you're fully immersed in a VR experience, it shows a colorful, shifting pattern to let people know you're not present. But when someone approaches you or you start interacting with the real world, the headset becomes transparent in a way. The front display shows a real-time digital rendering of your eyes to the person you're talking to. The idea is to give them the social cue that you can see them and are paying attention. It's a complex technical feat trying to replicate a key part of human connection. From your perspective, when someone enters your space, they fade into view through the pass-through video, so you never feel completely cut off. It's Apple's attempt to solve the isolation problem and make spatial computing a more shared, socially acceptable experience. It's a little uncanny for sure, but it's a thoughtful solution to a very real problem. Tying all of this groundbreaking hardware together is a brand new operating system, VisionOS. Apple says it's the result of decades of engineering work on macOS, iOS, and iPadOS, and you can feel that heritage. The user interface is built on the familiar grid of apps, windows, and icons that we all know. It feels intuitive right from the start. But it's been completely reimagined for a three-dimensional spatial environment. Apps aren't confined to a rectangle in your hand. They have volume. They can cast shadows on your desk, and they react to the light in your room. This is Apple's first spatially native OS, designed from the ground up to be controlled by your eyes and hands. It allows apps to break free from the screen and exist in the space around you. Developers can create fully immersive experiences that take over your entire room or build windows that float alongside your other apps. It supports all the frameworks developers are familiar with, which is why there were already hundreds of native apps available at launch. VisionOS is the software foundation that makes the entire spatial computing concept work, blending the digital and physical in a way that feels coherent and, most importantly, usable. So, after all that, what's the verdict on the Apple Vision Pro? Let's be clear, at $3,500 this is not a mainstream product. It's a first-generation device aimed squarely at a very specific audience. We're talking about developers who need to build the next wave of spatial apps, creative professionals who can leverage an infinite canvas, die-hard AR and VR enthusiasts, and of course, the earliest of early adopters who want a taste of the future, no matter the cost. For them, this is a monumental release, a powerful, polished, and tantalizing glimpse of what's to come. But for most of us, it's a wait-and-see situation. Apple knows this. History tells us this is their playbook. The first version is always expensive, ambitious, and lays the groundwork. We're already hearing whispers about Apple's future plans, a cheaper, more accessible Apple Vision non-Pro model down the line, and a more powerful Vision Pro 2 that will refine the experience even further. They are playing the long game here, building out the ecosystem, shrinking the components, and driving down the cost over time. The Vision Pro you see today is the starting point, not the destination. It's the foundation upon which the future of this entire product category will be built. Ultimately, the Vision Pro feels like it could be another one of those Mac moments for Apple. It's a new category of personal computer that has the potential to change how we work, play, and connect with each other. It's not there yet, it's heavy, the battery life is a constraint, and the price is prohibitive. But the core experience, the sheer technological achievement, is undeniable. This is Apple planting a flag, declaring that this is the future of computing as they see it. And if they're right, we just got our first real look at the next big thing.